Hey coaches, appreciate you tuning into my YouTube channel. This week for me has all been about play calling. Calling plays is difficult job. So this week has been about how to set that up and then how in the game to make adjustments as needed. So I went through building a play call sheet, scripting your first session of plays earlier this week, motions and shifts, and then today we're going to be working on tempo, how to use tempo effectively for you as a coach, and how to make decisions on how you want to use tempo, the good and the bad, from the different ways you can run it. I will be speaking directly towards my offense, which is the Gun T RPO offense. If you're interested, there's a lot of information out about that on CoachTube or on my website, fbcoachsimpson.com, or you can reach out to me through social media in some form, Twitter or Facebook, or email me, and I can get you information about what we do specifically. Okay, but when we talk about tempo, first thing I think you have to do as a complete staff is sit down and decide what is the makeup of your team. What do you want to be about? A lot of times you get a young, aggressive offensive coordinator. Those guys generally want to score a lot of points and they want to go really, really fast. Okay, does that mix with what you're trying to do defensively, or is your theory as a whole on your team? You know, as a head coach, you've got to make a decision. Are you comfortable in a 42 to 41 game, or are you not comfortable in that? And that needs to be communicated to your offensive coordinator, and then not only him, but also to your defensive coordinator. Because to me, a team that's going to go up tempo and try to score a lot of points defensively needs to be very aggressive, because you're trying to get stops as many times as possible through turnovers or big plays. That also means if you're going to be really aggressive defensively, you're susceptible for giving up points. But if you're trying to go fast, all you want is the ball back. So you got to make up your decision as a coaching staff what you guys are going to be about as you come to the idea of tempo. If you're going to want to keep the score down low, then obviously your offense needs to reflect that with the type of tempo that you use. To us, I'm a big fan of changing up the tempos. I like to change up the tempo. It can be week to week. We feel if we maybe have an advantage in depth on a team, then we're going to intentionally go a little bit faster throughout the whole game. We also feel that maybe if they have an advantage in depth, or we have some injuries we possibly are dealing with, or whatever the circumstance may be, that we may slow it down a little bit, or if there's a talent discrepancy, we want to limit possession. So we're going to look to it on a week-to-week basis of how fast we want to go or how slow we want to go based on several factors. We also look at it season to season. You know, season to season. Are we, a lot of guys going one way, or we want to rev it up and we want to go? Feel we're pretty good this year. Maybe a returning quarterback who can handle more and we want to go. Okay, go really, really fast. Or are we a young quarterback, slow it down, kind of slow down the pace for him year to year? I'm a big fan of changing it up, not just from season to season or week to week, but from series to series. You know, there's a lot of times we have keywords that are going to trigger a play immediately, but that's not our normal tempo. I'm a big believer in changing up what you do. You think about pitchers. If a guy's throwing 98 miles an hour, that's hard to hit. But if he's throwing 98 miles an hour on every pitch, eventually you catch up to that, and that can be problems. So if you want to go fast all the time, that's awesome. But I think you're more effective when you change up the tempo, when you can go really fast, or you can go up there and check with me, or you can go really slow, or you can do the sugar huddle, maybe Auburn does. And so we like to change up even inside of a game. Okay, there are three different ways that we go as far as offensively. We go normal pace for us. We're going to get to the line quickly, and we're going to make our shifts and our adjustments and our trades, motions, whatever it is, or we're going to run a dummy call and see what they're doing and then make a play call. That's kind of a normal pace for us, snapping the ball around 15 to 5 seconds, kind of the play clock, maybe 10 seconds in that range. We're not in a real big rush, but we do want to get lined up quickly because we want to gather information as play callers. That's our normal pace. We can go slow, where we're going to intentionally get up to the line relatively slow. can give either a dummy call or a shift or a movement, but now we're trying to snap that ball around 5 seconds or under. Trying to shrink the game possibly. Maybe we're trying to grind out the clock at the end of a half or at the end of a game, but we go slow. We just call that 4-minute offense. And maybe at 12 minutes, maybe the first play of the second quarter, and we call out 4-minute O, our guys know, hey, we're going slower, okay? Or we go fast. Lots of terms you can use for fast. I'm a big Tony Franklin guy. He uses NASCAR. I think it's a real cool term. Your kids get that. Let's go. But what you have to understand is this. The faster you go from slow to normal to fast, the less verbiage, the less words you can use. So if you want to tag and shift and move, you can't go that fast. Okay, you can go normal or you can go slow, but you can't go NASCAR or whatever you're using for fast. So if you're wanting to go fast, you have to throw out a lot of shifts and a lot of motions and a lot of movements and a lot of other things so you can get these one-word tags. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of guys are very successful. In our offense, we can go fast, and when we do that, we know we're basically going to be running our base plays the base way we want to run them. We're going to lose a lot of our tags of running the ball with a different player or shifting and motioning and then running a play. That's why we tend to live in this normal range, and we play around with going fast. Because I'm a big believer, when you come to tempo, the more I can change it up on a defense, the harder it is to hit. Going back to our pitcher analogy, 98 miles an hour is hard to hit. A guy who can throw 98 and come back with an 81 mile per hour changeup is almost impossible to hit. And so we want to do the same thing in football. We want to be able to go really fast when the time calls for it, or we feel like you're on your heels, or maybe just one play really fast. Okay? And we also want to go really, really slow. There's nothing more frustrating than the other team sitting over there at the end of the first half, not getting the ball, knowing they're going to kick it back to you. So a lot of times for us, the end of the first half, nice little 5-6 minute drive right there, and then start the next half with another 5-6 minute drive, and you've eaten a whole quarter off the game. And so that's a time we really like to go slow in our tempo. But the main thing is having the verbiage that your kids understand, the pace you're trying to work with, but also understanding you've got to cut down on your verbiage the faster you want to go. So don't put in a fast-paced offense with a lot of shifts and motions. It ain't going to work. You need to make sure you're matching up what you're doing. You're also matching up the makeup of your team to what you want to do. In my opinion, if you feel that maybe you're not as talented as some of the other teams you're playing, slow the game down, shrink the game, give yourself a chance to win. If you feel that you are as talented or maybe more talented or really close, and if you want to go fast, go fast. But just make sure you're matching your defense with your offense and being aggressive defensively and in the special teams game as well. And then be willing to change it up year to year. You may not have the same team, same quarterback, whatever it is. Whatever you decide to do, you want to build it inside of your system. And for us, that's our Gun T RPO system. If you'd like more information about specifically how we do that, feel free to reach out to me. You can also subscribe right down here if you would like to get more of these YouTube videos. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about making in-game adjustments and how that helps with play calling. Thank you for your time.